What is the most obvious lie you have ever been told? When a coworker told my own story back to me as his own. Twice. I had a friend do this once. He was hanging out with a large group of my friends that he hardly knew, and my best friend, still my best friend to love at Dhaka, just went, "Wow, it's so crazy you have verbatim the exact same childhood story that Jason has told us all before. Right down to the small town in Kansas where it happened, and the color drained straight out of his face. Didn't say a word to me for like 3 days. Dude turned out to be a pathological liar on many levels. Very strange to think how I spent 4 years of high school with someone lying straight to my face constantly and didn't realize it until that moment. I speak French, though I'm losing it from lack of use, but one of my college guy friends started dating a girl from France. He was all excited because she could talk to me in her native language and I could help translate. So he brought her to a party at my sorority house and introduced us. I greeted her in French with a very simple bonjour, bienvenue, comment of va, which is just hi, welcome, how are you, blank stare and red face in response. She then said, in what I thought was a kind of strange accent, that sorry, she didn't understand me. I looked at the guy and said, I thought you told me she was French, because maybe she was a different nationality, and he was confused. He looked at her and she just turned and left. He followed, then returned a bit later and said he had caught up to her, and she started screaming at him in perfect Midwestern accented English that he was a jerk for setting her up to look like a fool. He had genuinely been excited that he could introduce her to someone she could talk to, so he was blown away by her accusations and then angry that she lied. She apparently felt faking an accent would make her more appealing or something. I would see her around on campus after that, but she avoided me like the plague. TBH. I felt bad for her. But if you're going to fake it, at least pick a country with a language you can speak. Reminds of that post where the guy has been faking a Norse accent for all of college, but is screwed BC he wants to marry his GF that thinks he's Australian. When I was a public defender, my dipshit client called up his victim from the jail phone the night before his trial. He said kill repeatedly in an attempt to intimidate her. When I was telling him how stupid this was, his excuse was that he was watching Kill Bill and someone changed the channel on the cell block communal TV. That dumbass is now doing 28 years in prison. My little girl told everyone in the supermarket that our cat died and she was sad. We don't own a cat. Well, not anymore. We are not playing favorites. Apostrophe. Was told I needed to buy my own car as a teen and I did. Following year my baby bro was given a free car. Has 15 emos younger. Is now 56, still living at home. My sister had her car in college pretty much paid for. I was basically told to kick rocks. Yeah, I feel your pain. College was same scenario with me too. Fortunately it made me more independent and my bro has never grown up. He will inherit their houses / land. Oh, but I'm told I'll get a car. Think I got the better deal lol. My mom after 11-year-old me accidentally destroyed her favorite vase by throwing my brother's stuffed animals around the living room. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Oh, that hurts more. In high school a buddy told me that he didn't steal our other buddy's watch. He was wearing the watch when I asked him about it. Long-term borrowing. He'll give it back, some say, I'm sure. Some might say so, but I'm not one of them. Used to have a friend that spewed bullshit all the time. Told me her bio parents, who lived together, were divorced and seeing other people. And also that she had 25 siblings. Brought it up to her mom one time, which was an interesting conversation. She also told us she had cancer, and then a week later it was miraculously cured. Edit. Spelling. I have a family member who did the cancer thing. A cousin found out it was a lie, but the one that I'll never forget was when I introduced her to my friend who has lupus. I don't know how the topic came up about it, but she literally told my friend in front of me that she also had lupus. I immediately ended the conversation and left. I told my friend she was lying, and now we laugh about it, but seriously, no shame. Why do people do this? It is so ducking weird. I had a colleague who pretended to have cancer for months. She lied about her kid having deadly allergies. Lied about her husband having a terminal illness. What is going through your mind? Exclamation mark. A childhood friend and I met up for coffee one day after not meeting for a few years. He casually let it slip that ever since he earned a black belt he has had to register with the state as a human weapon. My hands are registered as lethal weapons. That means we get into a fight. I accidentally kill you. I go to jail. Apostrophe. Anybody accidentally kills anybody in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter. Apostrophe. I did brush my teeth. I swear. Apostrophe. This toothbrush. Bone dry. So we agree that this is your toothbrush? Dat. I did not lie. I said that I brushed my teeth. I never specified that I brushed my teeth tonight. And if the court reporter reads back my remarks, you will see that I did not perjure myself. I never said you had to sign the document if it wasn't true, says the person with 3 emails telling me to sign a document even after I said it wasn't true sitting on her outbox. I was given a blank lease from a realtor and he told me to sign it. Nope. By blank I meant a standard Ontario lease with nothing filled in. Had the same conversation with unscrupulous tow company. Had just been in a major wreck. And while pulling items out of the car I knew we'd never see again. They handed me a blank form to sign. Don't worry, we will fill in the details afterwards. Fuck off. I'm sure it worked plenty of times, considering they were targeting people in moments of vulnerability. Any lieutenant saying that the platoon can go home early on a Friday if you work hard right now. Just about anything a lieutenant says should be run by the captain first, unless the lieutenant says, I don't know, in which case he's probably right and is probably prior enlisted as well. We cannot give you a raise right now, but we will compensate you as soon as the budget allows. Turns out when the budget allows is when you already have another job offer and put in your 2 weeks notice. I was told by a senior employee, not my manager, but technically a step above them, that my best bet for moving up in the company would be to leave and come back in 3 years. A colleague used to tell to his subordinates, if you want more money, find another job. Don't take this the wrong way. I don't want you to leave, but the only way I'm getting more money for you past upper management is by telling them you're leaving for a better offer. As a tax accountant, I'm told lies about how much money people actually made all the time during tax season. My favorite was a guy telling me he's broke because he only makes $35,000 year in New York City, so my very reasonable fee is too much for him. He says this after he asks me if he can deduct the new BMW 5 Series he just bought his son all cash. It isn't just the lie, but the added insult of such a bad lie told to one's face that is so galling. Had another client last week tell me he doesn't have any money to live cause of the pandemic. He bought a $750,000 condo in Greece as a vacation home a couple months ago. It's like these people forget that our job is literally to track what they do with their money. The company is in a great shape, so don't pay any attention to rumors about financial trouble. Have been there. Don't worry, the order book is full. We're in great shape. 1 week later I'm made redundant and 2 weeks later the company folded. I can finish this 104 game tonight. One does not simply finish a 104 game. I don't think I've finished a Civ game in over a year and I play it every other day. By turn 80 to 100 I start obsessing over some tiny minor mistake I made and I exit to main menu and restart with random Civ. Random map. My ex told me he was in a car accident. Totaled his car. Broke a few ribs. He was trying to get sympathy so I would get back together with him. Blaming the accident on me since he was distracted after the breakup. He sent me a photo of his car smashed in. I Google searched it. First pic of his make/model that was wrecked. He formulated the story after the picture. But here's the deal. The wheels didn't match. So I drove by his house that evening. Car was fixed and in his driveway. Oh yes. I paid the shop extra to get me in today. So I could have my car to come see you if you wanted me to. Apostrophe. Haha bro. An ex of mine picked up gig work out of state. He tried to tell me that a gang of guys attacked him with crowbars and 2x4s 2 nights before. Said he had broken his nose, shattered the bones around his eye, broken ribs, etc. I called his bluff. He sent me pictures of him wearing a neck brace and ace bandage around his chest. I commented, "Your face looks fine. You don't have a bruise on you. Putting on a bandage and brace you bought at Walgreens isn't gonna sell it." He snaps back, "I don't bruise naturally, and plastic surgeons fixed my face." He sang a different tune later, when he fell down a flight of stairs and actually injured himself. I didn't give him sympathy then either. When my little brother mixed like 50 condiments, including sprinkles, ketchup, cereal and stuff, into a bag of popcorn and ate it telling us it was delicious when his face looked like he'd just ate 10 extremely sour warheads at once. He later admitted he just wanted us to eat it, but we never did. One time my little brother tried to make me a sandwich just to be nice, but said sandwich was just chocolate chips cookies covered in mustard between 2 pieces of bread. He clearly wanted to see how I'd react, and I of course refused to eat it. He told our mom I was being rude, and the worst part was, after she actually saw the sandwich she still said I was supposed to humor him. I just threw it away and told both no. Wow, your mom was in on it too lol. The biggest betrayal of my life was when my mom sided with my older brother and tricking me into eating a spoonful of Nestle chocolate baking powder. Loyalty to a company would be repaid. When I was a teenager I worked at a grocery store, which went under and was in the process of being bought by a new one. We were told during this process that our loyalty would be rewarded and would all get to keep our jobs and whatnot. I hated that job anyway and ditched it for a different one. But it turns out that after about a week or so they just fired everyone and sold it to a bigger grocery chain. Loyalty cards only last for one term. You misunderstand. We never said anything about our loyalty. Apostrophe. We will keep your resume on hand and let you know if any other positions open up. Apostrophe. As a recent graduate job searching, it hurts. Job recruiters are such dicks about the whole process. I went in to interview for a job and they paraded me around their different locations for 3 months and ghosted me. Shit ducking hurts. Numerous other employers don't ever respond. I appreciate the duck out of companies that will at least tell me when they decide not to move forward with me as a candidate. But of course, I have to be available for an interview in 2 days because I can't be busy, right? Question mark? Edit. Wow. I'm so sorry so many of you can empathize with my situation. I hope you all have good jobs now where you feel somewhat fulfilled and make enough money to live somewhat comfortably. A while back I had a company email me saying I had 8 hours to send back a 10-minute video interview, requiring both directly answering questions into the camera and presenting a PowerPoint with voiceover. Busted my ass recording and editing that ducking thing. Emailed it. No response whatsoever. I was pissed. Had the exact same scenario happen to me. They can't take the time out of their day to personally interview you or even respond to the video interview. It's such a horrible way to evaluate candidates. I was picking up a sofa from a guy I found on Kijiji and he stopped me right before leaving to see if I wanted to buy a mirror he was also looking to get rid of. I wasn't really interested, but my wife seemed keen, so we stopped in the hallway to check it out. He said it was a gift from my son-in-law. It's a beautiful mid-century antique. I'll let it go for $75. He went on about what an amazing mirror it was and even told me pick it up and feel how sturdy it is. I picked it up. It was really heavy actually, and took a peek at the back and saw a sticker from Value Village with a $30 price tag. I kinda chuckled to myself and asked if he would go any lower than $75. He said I really couldn't. Then I said, well, I can see a tag from Value Village on the back here. Apostrophe. We ended up getting the mid-century antique mirror for $15 a me, and my wife still laugh about the amazing deal we got on it. My brother told me I was a dragon and I totally believed him. Man, I was a dumb kid. But now I'm a dumb adult. At least you have your horde to comfort you. My coworker once tried to convince me that centaurs exist. She said they lived in a gated community in Hollywood and did all the horse stunts for movies. Did we both know it was a lie? Yes. Did she ever admit it was? No, and I admire that about her. Nah bro, she's actually right about that one. I saw it once, it's true. I've been on the run ever since. Your call is important to us. Apostrophe. Listen carefully as our options have recently changed. May. That's the real kicker. They know they're lying, but they're on autopilot. Yeah, I did all my homework in like 5 minutes, I promise. Holy shit, this comment blew up. Thanks lol. Oh. I sent you my homework via email. I must have made a typo in your address. Apostrophe. That's a rookie way. Create a batch file that brings up a corrupt file error. Send them that. Then you get more time to finish the project while they send an email back saying the file was corrupted. You can tell them I'll resend it when I get home. Glad to see I have company. I was editor-in-chief of my high school newspaper and I was gonna miss a deadline. So I opened up an X file, inserted some sentence fragments randomly, then renamed it as a doc. When we went to read over it the next day, I just looked upset, said I had no idea what had happened and that I'd save it on another disk, double check it, and bring it in the next day. The cat scratched me. Apostrophe. You literally don't own a cat though. Apostrophe. My fork fell onto my arms then. IDK. Apostrophe. I woke up on my blanket and it left these marks on my arm. I swear. Apostrophe. So there's a needle hanging off your skin. The blanket has a plastic net that helps keep its shape. This needle you're talking about is completely falsehood. It is just a bit of plastic that got stuck in me. Hey PSSST. Please subscribe and like.